Welcome to the village. Welcome. Happy Tuesday, everyone. Again, happy Tuesday. We're getting closer and closer to the first day of school. All right. Now, for some of us, we've already been back to school. So we want to know how's your week so far? How's your school year, happening? What's happening so far? Um, Please let us know. Tune into the village and drop some comments and let us know so that those of us who are still on summer break, we can kind of get some ideas on what to expect. And I love the comments and different ideas on how to open up the school year, how to celebrate our students and get them all excited about going back to school. Now, we can get ideas for how to get our students excited, but how are we getting ourselves excited and motivated about going back to school? That's right, guys. We're going to still talk about getting prepared for going back to school. Now, last week we talked about those foundational things that you need to think about as we're going back into our upcoming school year. Things like our mindset, our why, our core values, our strengths. All of these things are important. So, again, thanks for tuning in as we chat about getting ready to go back to school. So, let's get ready, set, go back to school. That's right. Again, guys, welcome to the village. I am Dr. Roz, CEO and founder of the Village Leadership Group, LLC, where we coach teacher leaders so that they can their identify their strengths, develop leadership skills, and reignite their passion for teaching and learning. So, welcome to the village. We're here to get encouraged, motivated, and excited to go back to school. That's right, we're going back. So, I want to hear from you guys. What are you doing to get yourself motivated to going back? Now, one of the things that we've been talking about is knowing our why. Over the last year or so, we've been put to the test and we had to dig deep. And guess what? We succeeded in meeting the needs of our students during a whole pandemic. We did it. So, congratulations to all of our innovative teachers, school leaders, administrators, everybody. We worked together to pull that off. We had to learn new technology, learn new strategies, and really roll up our sleeves and work together to come up with ideas on how to meet the needs of our students and our communities as we dealt with this pandemic. So now that we know that we can do it, we need to think about ways that we can continue those innovative ideas for this upcoming school year. So again, we need to figure out what's our why, what's our motivation. Now, what I've been reflecting and really thinking about all the things that we've learned during this pandemic and the things that I'm passionate about. And what I realized as a teacher that my why have changed throughout my career. And it also has changed recently, especially during this pandemic. So, when I first became a teacher, my why was all about serving children that looked like me. I went to the Morgan State University, shout out, go Bears. And I just had this, that Black pride and that encouragement and that passion to really make a difference in the urban school districts because I wanted to ensure that students loved learning and they enjoyed it. And so I wanted the students who look like me, my students, to be successful. And so that's what I did. And in the beginning of my career, that's what I focused on. So everything was tied to that. I didn't know anything about equity or cultural responsiveness. All of those things came later. I just wanted to do whatever I needed to do to meet the needs of my Black and brown students, okay, my babies. And that was my why. Now, then later on, as I started to take on leadership positions, my why changed. Now I was focused on teachers because in order for our schools to get better, our teachers needed to be better. And so I tried to figure out, well, how can I support teachers? And so that's when my why became, making sure that teachers were empowered, encouraged, supported, and given the right type of coaching support so that they could be the best teachers that they could be. And again, that would impact our students. So that's what I was focusing on. So that was my why. Okay. So now, during this whole pandemic, we've had so many things thrown at us. And so now, what is our why? What's going to motivate us to continue this work? All right. So I want to hear from you guys. What is your why? Because when we go back to school and we're leading our teacher teams and our PLCs, everything that we do, we need to align it to our why so that we can continue being motivated. So, what is your why? What's your purpose? What's your mission? And what are your team's goals? Everything needs to go back to your why. Now, when my why was all centered around Black and Brown students succeeding, I needed to make sure that our goals was centered around that as well. And I can remember when my school was focusing on growth mindset. And I was like, whatever, growth mindset, yeah. Again, it did not connect to my core values and my why. Again, I'm focusing on closing the achievement gap and making sure that Black and Brown students were successful. Now, I went to a PD, a for growth mindset, that changed my perspective because that presenter, that facilitator, aligned it to my why. She talked about how Black and Brown students also needed a growth mindset. And that the reason is they just don't understand what growth mindset is. They know that they can play video games, they can, get stuck, but they will still push through. Those Black and Brown students playing a sport, they will work all day, all night to try to figure out how to, shoot a three-pointer or get that perfect layup. So they will push through that challenge of not knowing how to do something. So that presenter was able to, align the methods and the strategies to my core value. So after that, I was hooked. It was all about growth mindset. So similarly, when we go back to our teachers, go back to school and we're working with our teachers, we just can't throw a whole bunch of strategies and ideas around and say, oh, this week we're going to focus on critical race theory, or not critical race theory, but equity. Next week we're going to talk about something else. We need to find out what's important to our teachers and why. Because that way we can tie everything back to their why and to their core values. That's going to help keep our teachers motivated and really focused on that collaborative work so that they can make a difference for those students. So that's what we're going to be talking about this week. We're going to have some guests on Thursday, and I'm going to be interviewing this week and next week. We're going to talk more about how we structure our PLCs and making sure that teachers are excited about collaborative work. All right. So you want to make sure you continue to follow us on Facebook and Instagram at The Village LG. And also don't forget, we are creating a course. Well, we've created a course just for our teacher leaders, and it's going to be free for those of you who join the village now. So join the village, and if you register and join the village now, we're going to send you all of the details about that free course, but you have to do so before October 1st so that you can get all of the free resources, agendas, PowerPoints, everything that you're going to need so that your team can be structured as a PLC. That's right. We want our teams to have high impact and high function. All right. So again, join the village. All right. And remember, teacher leadership is a mindset, not a position. See you on Thursday.